that Linnell Jones III here is down to something like 2 or 3 cigarettes.
Correction, Al. That is now down to 2 a day.
Oh, all right. That deserves an applause. I don't care if I'm the only one clapping.
Well, thank you. I'm really working hard from 10 cigarettes a day to about 2 or maybe 1.
And that is an accomplishment. And that's the whole point of Change It Now and shows like this. What is Change It Now? Let's get to the business at hand. It's kind of a tough one. Change It Now is all the things that America can be and needs to be. But I got to tell you, this may blindside Linnell and everybody in here. I was listening to KQV.com yesterday and today. Our state Senate and House has a bill in our state capitol that may outlaw same-sex marriages and civil unions. And I'm going to tell you why that is a horrific idea. But before I do, here's what I want to know. Why are we even talking about whether homosexuals should get married, whether straight people should get married? Why are we making distractions such as, and divisiveness such as, should homosexuals have the right? Well, we got major, legitimate, real issues. Why isn't the House and Senate right now working on getting real relief from the gas pumps, demanding major changes in the cost of gasoline? That's not important. But if 2 homosexuals get married is? Maybe I'm missing something here. If 2 homosexuals get married, and I'm married to my wife or girlfriend I'm hanging with, that's not affecting my life. But when I go to the local gas station and I'm shelling out $50 or $60 when I really can't afford it, that's affecting my life. So Congress in the state, I have to ask you a question. Are you working in the Capitol? Or are you by any chance drunk? Because you are not only unrealistic, you're actually stupid. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you stupid when you're stupid. Making laws to subjugate people about whether they should get married or get benefits when other people can't afford their gasoline, can't afford their milk, can't afford their food. Where's your priorities? We didn't elect you to tell people they can't. We elected you to help us solve our problems. If you can't do that job, get out of Congress, both on the state and federal level. And yeah, I got the nerve to say, get out. You know why? I'm your boss. I happen to be a resident of Pennsylvania. And I'm telling all of you, quit with the baloney and the divisiveness on whether gays should be married or not. And start making bills that could give us lower gasoline prices. If you can't do what's right, you need to pack up your bags and say good night. But before I say anything else, and we will get back to the homosexuals getting married or not, before I say anything else, I'm going to bring it to Linnell and Al, see if they got anything they want to throw out. Because this is kind of like we're going to throw out issues and work on solutions. So now we're going to pass it to Linnell Jones III.
Well, I'm going to pass it to Mr. Al here and see what he has in mind about all of these issues that we have and get his word on things as they stand.
This is a very good day to talk about change now because of the election in Indiana and North Carolina. Senator Obama has been talking about change now. He means it, and that is his slogan. Talking about getting angry, I think it is good to express yourself. You don't have to be mad. You can express yourself quietly and directly. That is sufficient. I hope you don't find it impossible to adjust yourself to calmness.
Yes, Al, you're absolutely right. I totally agree with that statement. As a good display of channeling your anger in the right direction, when I watched Senator Obama addressing the issue of Reverend Wright, yes, he did display a high level of anger. Yes, he did address the issues at hand. And he did it in such a way which to me is admirable, because he did not let himself get out of control physically or verbally. It was a lot of pressure, and along with anger comes pressure. And it was a lot of conversating on an adverse situation due to statements that was made by Reverend Wright. So I have to commend Senator Obama for showing and displaying self-control in front of the American people, and that's basically what we need in our own lives as well as in our government, for someone to take leadership and show a high level of controllability, and be able to express themselves with using anger, but without getting out of control. So you could take these examples and what Mr. Al said and apply them to yourself, and you'll see that you will get positive results.
Well, I agree for the most part, but disagree in one way. And let me clarify what I'm saying. I'm not saying that being angry and temporarily yelling is necessarily the way to go. What I am saying is, if somebody loses it for a few minutes, or every now and then they do that, we should not disqualify them saying that they can't show self-control. What I'm saying is, yes, for 99.9% of the time, most of us can be mad and not only do it in a calm manner, firm but calm, but we can do it in a very professional manner. What I'm saying is, when the exception happens, when somebody does get mad, that does not immediately disqualify them. What was done to Howard Dean was an abomination. And all I'm saying is, Howard Dean could have been one of the best presidents we ever had. I'm not saying he would have been. I'm not saying he would. I mean, I know exactly. What I am saying is, we don't know. But he was disqualified because he made one shout. That was unfair. The media was wrong. And the fact of the matter is, people are allowed to yell and lose control sometimes for a minute. They are the safer of the two. Someone who actually expresses it in a loud way sometimes may be the one I'd rather live next door to, because I know where they're coming from. Somebody who doesn't even say anything, to me, they're dangerous. Let us remember Jeffrey Dahmer. And then we have a question from Nancy Way, but let me say this and then acknowledge Nancy. Jeffrey Dahmer and many of the serial killers never expressed anger, never lost it. They were always calm, never seemed like they were angry. Then they killed people. What I'm saying to you is, so what? Somebody loses it every now and then. Does that mean they're not qualified? No. And what I'm saying is, we need to change our perception. We're going to get to more of that. But before we do anything, we're going to get to the audience member and guest, former guest, Nancy Way. She has something to comment on, so go for it, Nancy.
Yeah, I think, when people get angry, they have a right, because why they're getting angry? Because they're trying to get their point across. And I think they have a right to do that. And if they don't, and it's not good to hold it in. So that's what I'm commenting on. Because people, when they have a right to get angry, but they don't, like anger management, like sometimes they go out of control like that. But if they're angry, they're trying to get their point across to people.
Well, I thank you for that comment. Let me say